I was shooting another video and the project that I was working on was going to have key slots. I thought I would take the time to show you how to make a key slot where they're both even, and whenever you apply them to your project, it's going to end up hanging evenly. I'm Andy, this is Epeius Garage, and if you're not sure what a key slot is, stay tuned and I'm going to show you. Oh, and I wanted to apologize, y'all. It's been about a month or so before my last long video. I've been traveling a ton for my day job, so I haven't been here to make content. So I do apologize and appreciate y'all sticking around if you have. Anyways, let's get to it. Assuming some of y'all may not know what a key slot is, I'm going to go ahead and explain. It is a slot in the back of something that's going to be mounted to either a wall or some other vertical surface. A key slot is usually made in wood using a router and a key slot bit or a mechanical key slot fastener. I've used them, but I really don't care for them, to be honest with you. So I have them on hand just in case. Sometimes they're handy, but I don't use them. I prefer the key slot groove or cutout in the material. It can be tricky, but don't worry, stay tuned. I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to do it. If you know a better way of doing this after watching my video, feel free to tell me in the comments or link another video, because this is something I never really could find a good video on, and I kind of just figured it out on my own. So if you got something, please leave it in the comments. Here's the most important part and the goal of making your key slot and making it correctly. You see here, I have a project I'm working on. I have it even, and if you noticed, the key slots are even. If these are uneven, your project's not going to set on the wall properly. It's going to be lopsided or something like that. So these must be even in order for it to hang correctly. So this is very important, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you're going to need is a quick jig. As you can see here, I took just a piece of lumber, extra left over from the project I was working on, and I had to mount it to my fence because my fence was not long enough. It's not long enough because ultimately you're going to need stops on both ends of your piece. Okay? Next thing you need to think about is the slot. The end of the slot is always going to run towards the top because you're going to push this on the wall, screw, and then you're going to slide it down. So this has to be to the top. And it doesn't really matter how long this is. You can make up whatever length you decide. Now, to figure this out, where the stop is going to be, first figure out where you want your keyhole to start. Figure that out. Once you get that figured out, you're going to put it up against your fence, and you're going to hold it there up against your fence where you want it in position, and then you're either going to mark or go ahead and put your stop up against the top end of your piece, and then clamp your stop there. That is going to be your first stop. This is where your piece will rest up against when you start your cut. Then you're going to figure out how long you want your slot, and you're going to measure from the end of your piece on the other end. You're going to measure that out, you're going to mark it, and then that's where your next stop is going to be. And that is where you're going to slide to and giving you the groove underneath the wood for the screw. Basically, your piece is going to slide. Actually, I still have this set from yesterday. So I slid it on the piece, and your piece is going to slide between the stops, just like that. Doing this gives you the cut hole and the cut groove. And underneath this groove is the same size as this hole, so the shoulder of the screw heads can rest on that. Pretty simple. Once you get this figured out, you set up where you want the bit to enter to cut into this. In my case, on this project, I wanted it center of this 3/4 inch piece of wood. So really, honestly, I eyeballed it. All I did is I took another piece of 3/4 inch wood of the same material. I placed it up there, made sure that it was center, I guess you could say. I just eyeballed this one, I'll be honest. All right, we're all set up. Make sure you got your earplugs and your eye safety wear on. My router's loud. I don't know about yours, but from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn on the router. Once your router gets up and going, take your piece that you're going to be cutting, put it flat up against the fence above the router bit. You do not want to touch the router bit yet. Then you're going to slide it over to your first stop, the stop that's at the top of your piece. Once you got all that set up, keeping pressure against the fence and against the stop, you're going to slowly plunge your piece over the router bit, all the way until it's flat against the table. Now you're going to take your piece and you're going to slowly slide it over to the other stop. This is cutting your groove for you. Once you get to that stop, you can let it set for a second and then slowly bring it back to the starting position at the top of your piece. Then from there, you can slowly lift the piece off the router bit and turn off the router. And you should have a perfect key slot just like that if you do it just the way I'm telling you. A little bit about the fasteners I use on these, I'll go ahead and tell you in case you're curious so you don't have to figure it out on your own. I use, let me find them, and of course, I use these number 4 to number 6 drywall anchors. These work really well with the 3/8 router bit that I'm using, and they fit perfectly in the slot. They don't come out. And when you get this on the wall, you can adjust this to the right depth where it's perfect on here, and this actually slides up and you got to push it in and slide it down nice and tight. And you just do that, slowly adjusting it with your screwdriver when you go to mounting whatever project you're doing. I'll link these and I'll link the router bit as well in the description, but this is what the pieces look like. I buy them in bulk because there's other projects I use these on that I sell in my markets. And then of course the router bit is a 3/8 router bit, keyhole slot bit. That's all it's called. High speed steel tipped keyhole bit, 3/8. And I'll link both of these for you. I like key slot holes or slots or whatever you want to call them the best. They're strong for one, and they keep your workpiece flush up against whatever vertical surface you're mounting it to, whether it be the wall or whatever. But you can get it nice and flush. You don't have it, like with wire hangers and such, you've got something up here that's keeping it against the wall, and you usually got to put rubber stoppers. And then you got a gap between your picture. If you have a project that you want flush against the wall, key slots is the way to go. I literally stopped the project that I was filming and making to make this video because I really wanted to get it out first, so that way if you watch my next video, which you got a sneak peek of what it might be, I wanted you to kind of have something to go to that I can link and show you how to make the key slot because they can be tricky. So if this was helpful, please remember to hit the like, subscribe button, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Y'all are getting a sneak peek preview of the next video that'll come out, but those key slots, here it is on the actual completed project, so you can kind of see how they work in real application. I already drilled my holes, put in my screws, got them set the distance I want, which in this case the distance is 10 and 13/16, so that's the distance, and I made sure to drill them level, of course. And from there you just kind of slide it on, slide it down, and that's it. And I already checked the level of it, but perfectly level. And this is representing a sword that'll go in here. That's level. I think this will work out all right.